All right, I got to go back to our Hebrew right now. Okay, we had a difficult time getting through some of this Hebrew here, but I hope what we try to impress you with, you got it down now. Okay, I'm going to do now is two more paragraphs. Then I want to say something about the assignments you handed in, and then we'll tell you what you're going to have to be doing in the next week or two, and then we go on with the next unit. Okay, this is going to be a little challenge. Baruch, I'm going to try to ask you to do this. On page 121, when Hannah was here during the break, when you guys were out, she voluntarily said, could I please read the Hebrew? She has a good command of Hebrew, and she handed in her assignments with vocalized Hebrew. I was impressed by that. And she told me, I learned in Iran. She learned her Hebrew in Iran. Apparently gives her the encouragement to write the way she does and to read the way she does. So that's very encouraging to hear this. Her English, she says, she understands, but it's learning English. She's been here only for 6 years, and she's doing a fine job. She'll be with us next semester in the heritage class as well. Okay, let's see now if you can read that little unvocalized paragraph.
On 121.
121 on top. Just read as you see it.
Moshe, Mizrahi, Mizaper, Ani Ilomed,
Wait a minute, you're going too fast now. Just wait a minute now. In Yirmiyahu, we're looking at page 121 on top. And I guess when I heard you say Moshe Mizrahi, I picked the right person to read this paragraph because Mizrahi is the gang that Baruch identifies with. The Ashkenazim, you can drop them in Europe somewhere. The Mizrahi.
What is besides you? You got Mizrahi, you got Yemenite, and you got Persian.
Yeah, okay. If you read, I'll give you what the background is. According to those who make these decisions, the Ashkenazim are said to be Jews that come out of descent, as they claim, from Eastern Europe and Western Europe. And normally the countries that are mentioned for Ashkenazim are Russia and Ukraine and Poland and Germany and England and stuff like that. Then there are the Sfaradim. The Sfaradim, the Hebrew word Sfarad, is the Hebrew word for Spain. So if you have descent from Spain or Portugal, and the big years of division of 1492, 1499, that at the end of the 15th Christian century, the Sfaradim from Spain and Portugal are the Sfaradim of today. Then you have, but that's a problem because these Sfaradim are not only in Latin America, they also came to the Middle East, I guess, and a number of them wound up in Turkey somewhere. Then you have a group known as the Mizrahi. The Mizrahi are the so-called smallest of the groups, but they also maintain that they are the authentic ones, as every group will make that statement. Mizrahi, Mizrach. Mizrach means east. Sfarad is the Hebrew word for Spain, even though it's Spain and Portugal, and Ashkenaz.
Ashkenaz is Germany?
Ashkenaz is what?
Germany?
Yes. The word Ashkenaz is spelled by me with a Patak Zion. You might see the spelling of Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz, let me just spell properly with my mind thinking. Let's try it better. Notice I spelled the word Ashkenaz with an aleph sin. This is the Yiddish way of spelling Ashkenaz. The aleph is a sign of the vowel ah. And Ashkenaz in Hebrew spelling, probably spelled this way. Let me double check on that. And as far as the meaning of the word Ashkenaz, it is the term we use today and has been used this way for German-speaking lands or Germany is Germany. And Sfarad as Spain is Spain is Spain. Anyway, the question is it just simply restricted as Ashkenaz to Germany? The answer is no. It involves so many other countries. But today's Hebrew, one second, today's Hebrew, you say Ashkenaz is a country name, it means Germany. All right, Baruch, what do you want to say now?
Oh, I was going to say no, because it was like Russia obvious.
Yeah, well, not no. Countries have their names. All right, let me just see what I have the spelling of Ashkenaz. All right, I was right about it. Ashkenaz, they translate as Germany here. Ashkenazi, everything. Ashkenazi is translated as Ashkenazi, and German is the term used. Spelled the way I told you, Ashkenaz without that aleph. This aleph business is Yiddish spelling. This is your Hebrew spelling, Ashkenaz. What's interesting about Mizrach, the Mizrach group is any group of Jews, any Jewish group that makes sure it makes clear to you they have no contact with Spain, Portugal, or for that matter, Europe. All of a sudden, these are Jews outside of Europe and outside of Spain, Russia, Poland, etc. The Mizrahim. Mizrahis are Middle Eastern from the beginning to now. They have no contact with Europe at all. Your classic example would well be the Yemenite Jews. Another classic example would be the Persian Jews, for that matter.
They're Mizrahi or they're not?
How's that?
They're Mizrahi or
They are Mizrahi. Unless your Persian Jew can trace he comes from Spain and winds up in Persia, which is possible.
Which is a lot. That's one of the places that
Well, that's possible.
the New World.
Okay, as far as the Jews of Turkey are concerned, they don't just simply come out of nowhere, they come out of Spain somewhere. And that's why they have the language Ladino, which is nothing more than Spanish with Hebrew thrown into it. They speak Ladino in Turkey, and no Mizrahi is going to speak Ladino. They have no Spanish background. And then, of all continents, the country that will call itself Mizrahi, I won't be surprised if they don't call them, I would be surprised if they don't, is Africa. The African Jews, unless they come out of Spain or Portugal or Russia somewhere, they are Mizrahi. Asian Jews are called Mizrahi. So the word Mizrach becomes a larger group now. Once you see anybody that's not from Europe, I guess can be called Mizrahi.
So literally it means Mizrahi means?
Mizrach means from the east.
Oh,
And the word from the east is probably based upon a tradition that when you pray in the morning, pray in the afternoon, pray in the evening, when you want to talk to God, you don't look to the west, you don't look to the north, you don't look to the south, you look to the east. And Yirmiyahu is going to say, well, why not? That's where the sun rises. Not necessarily. Jews are not sun worshippers. It's the east is Jerusalem, facing Jerusalem. That's what you got. That's what you got. So that's Mizrach. And the Mizrahim differ among themselves. They have different traditions. They have different pronunciation of Hebrew. And the Yemenites in particular take credit for basically understanding Hebrew the way it has to be understood. And what they do is, among themselves, when they see an Ashkenazi like me come among them, they say, vus vus, vus vus, vus vus, vus vus. I am called a vus vus. You can smile. A vus vus. A vus vus. Vus vus means what's this, what's this, what's this. The Ashkenazim would simply assume that a Jew living in Israel understands Yiddish. Vus is dus, vus is dus. So the Yemenite picks up from these Ashkenazim who speak a little Yiddish. That's the vus vusim are coming. The what's this group is coming. Yirmiyahu, you're not taking this seriously. Yirmiyahu, you're a vus vus. You're a vus vus. Vus vus means what is this? What is this? Vus vus. You see, the trouble with us black folks is we ain't got a specific black language. The language we have is curse words.
It's like Salvadorian, every other word's a curse word.
Yirmiyahu, I got to be serious about it. What is it about one of these people I hear? He says, nigga, nigga. He says, that we call ourselves nigga. You know, we had the right to call us. I said, well, enough of that already. But that's the term he's got. And you don't say nigger, it's nigga. It's a special way of saying it. Well, that's it. And black folks will call themselves that. It's as if it's part of everyday language. It is. I was
If
very.
you're not black, you really can't.
No, I don't say that word at all. I'm just telling you, the neighborhoods I come from, I remember that term. It's used within the group. That's it. You don't say it, period. That's it.
El Salvador call it.
But then the meaning of all these words, including the words used about Jews, or the Jews being archaic, etc., the meaning of these words is not at all derogatory. Like take, for example, the meaning called the kike. The kike word to me is classic. That's a term among other terms you can call Jews by, but the best known word is the word kike. And what the hell is a kike? I don't know what a kike is, except I'm told the following. When Jews came from the parts of the world where my people came from, Eastern Europe, that meant from 1880 to 1920. Those are the years. 40 years. Roughly 2.5 million Jews come to this country, settle in this country, take over this country, dominate this country, whatever the Jews are said to do, said to have done since they've been here. And if you don't know it, that Statue of Liberty that looks at you was done by a Jew. It's modeled after a Jew. The Liberty Bell, the quote is from a Jewish woman. Anyway, the kike word is nothing more than a Yiddish word, which is a word for circle, a kichu in Yiddish. Jews coming from the parts of the world my people came from could not write out their name. They could write out their name in Yiddish, as I'm writing Yiddish now for Garber. This is the Hebrew spelling of it. I add the aleph for the ah sound and ayin for the s sound. That's how you write it in Yiddish. That's how I wrote it as a child. This is how I write it now. I write it as an Israeli writes Hebrew. Anyway, we were told to write your signature. These people don't know where are they going to learn English? They can write Yiddish, that was not legal. So make an X. An X that was not going to be made by religious Jews. X, any way you make it, looks like a cross. No. What can you make? Can you make a circle? All right, make a keyhole, a kaiho. And that's how the Irish Guards in Ellis Island refer to the next boat of Jews coming. The kaiko markers are coming. The makers of the kaiko. Mak a kaiko. Make a circle. And that's where the word kike comes from. It's not derogatory at all. And Jeremiah will be one black person who knows me well, who would not be disgusted if I say the word nigger. The word nigger means black. The largest African country. Go figure it.
Nigeria.
Exactly. Where the hell does Nigeria get the goddamn audacity to call itself nigger?
Nigeria.
They'll punch you in the face. It's Nigeria, the Nigeria River, whatever they got over there, is the word black.
Yeah.
And then if you go to Mexico, they don't know how to say anything except Negro. Negro sounds like our English word Negro. At one time, Negro was acceptable. Now get rid of that word.
Moreno. Moreno is like dark. Like
Moreno means our teacher in Hebrew.
Moreno, yeah. But Moreno means like dark complexion in Spanish. Or Moreno.
Moreno means black in Spanish?
Dark complexion. Negro means black.
Negro is black.
But Moreno means dark complexion, so it's in between like dark brown and black.
Oh, I see. All right. I guess what I'm trying to say is, and thank you for those examples, is that words are innocent. It's what people have infused the words with and how they use it that becomes all of a sudden very confusing and therefore very insulting.
Yeah, like in 30 years.
I'll tell you how insulting this business with the X is. Israeli youngsters, at least when I was in Israel, never made a plus sign. This is what the plus sign looks like. The minus looked like that. A plus looked like this, looked like a chametz. They never did this. And I guess they never did this because it looks like a cross. It's not just the Jewish children in Israel, the Christian kids. Everybody makes a plus like this. Go figure it. What does this thing have to do with a cross? But that's what some people said is why Jews in Israel, why people in Israel, not just Jews, they don't bother to make it.
So the minus is the tata.
That's right. And wait a minute now. Why would a Christian object to making something like this? Well, because you're insulting the cross when you make it as a plus. In other words, they will see something religious in the plus mark. I'm not saying that's so, but that's one possibility of how, one possible way of interpreting things. You see something, you'll interpret it any way you want. And this woman, you've got to see the tape I sent you on Sesame Street. You have a Jewish person. She is a beautiful black woman. She wears a Jewish symbol. I said to her, "What the hell is she wearing that for?" A symbol. You have to see it. I sent it to your Facebook or to your school email. She wears the Star of David. Let me talk about the Star of David business. The Star of David, I don't know where the hell it comes from. All of a sudden, it's a Jewish symbol. And watch what I'm going to do right now. A Jewish symbol, all right, it says it's called the Magen David. In Hebrew, we call this thing Magen. Magen means a shield, Shield. And then David is, of course, our king himself, King David. Magen David, said to be the origin of the Magen David, said to be from King David himself, the greatest of all Jewish kings, the one who unites Jerusalem, all that type of stuff. Well, why not? You call it Magen David. Magen is the shield of David. I remember seeing a Hollywood film that dealt with King David, and sure enough, it dealt with the origin also of the Star of David. The Star of David has nothing to do with the period of David or even in the centuries following David. It's much later in the Common Era where that symbol comes about.
But that was actually his battle shield that he had, and on that he had the Tehillim.
Who had?
King David. That's what he fought with. And
King David had tefillin on him.
No, he fought. He fought when he went to battle. He had a sword, and he had the Mogen David, and the shield.
Is that so?
The same as Mogen David, and on it he had Tehillim 67, written originally by Moses, which is used for your enemies, and the shield.
Baruch, stop it right there. What you're telling me is a tradition I never even heard of. This is not accurate.
I'm telling you the truth. This is what it is. But hear me out. So when he fought in war, because he was in thousands of wars, so when he fought in war,
all right.
The shield got bigger, and it defended him from attack. When he
All
went to attack,
right, Baruch. All right, Yirmiyahu, I think you understand what I'm trying to get at. What Baruch is probably saying is a tradition, and the tradition can be written in the books. I don't care what it said. All I know is that academically, it is a question about all these traditions. All right. Anyway, the David business was the two triangles like that, and then of course, what do you do with the deltas and stuff of that nature? All I can tell you is, what can I say to you? You don't really have a Star of David as a symbol in tradition, in my opinion. Let's use those words in traditional Judaism. It's a foreign symbol, but then it gets grafted on. How much more so it gets really developed, according to what Baruch is saying, and becomes therefore authentic. That's true of everything. Look at the name of David. It's got two D's to it. So the $2 are like two deltas. Do you understand what I'm doing right now? That explains why you have one delta and the second delta. The two, they represent the dollars.
oh, that's interesting.
Well, whatever. All I know is that that's probably the more popular symbol of a Jew today, but there's also the high symbol, the Chet and the Yud, but the Star of David. Every time I talk this way, I get that phone call as if to say, "What are you doing? What are you filling out the beans?" and stuff like that. Whoever is calling, it's always a scam call at this hour. Anyway, do you have to leave? Oh, I see it's 2 o'clock already. All right, people, let me do this. I think.
I'm here, bro. You want to stay? Don't worry about it.
No, okay, okay, one second. Before you leave, Uriel, the next exercise, no, I'll stay with you, Baruch. The next exercise is pages 122, 123, 124, 125. This I'm not going to do in class at all. And this you'll do at home and do it carefully. And when we come back on Tuesday of next week, we will start unit number 5. Okay. Drive carefully as you go to the airport. And Shabbat Shalom. Okay, Baruch, what you and I are going to do, let's try to do the reading. That would be very helpful. Okay, let's go. The reading, you'll read it. Go ahead. Okay.
מסמים, המורה משעמם, השיעור משעמם, אוקיי, מה אני עושה בשיעור? אני מדבר ומדבר.
All right, stop it right there. Ani medaber, the vav is normally pointed with a shvana under it, except there are differences in certain situations. When the vav is attached to a word that begins with the bilabial, the mem letter, the bet letter, the pay letter, or another vav letter, you point the vav as u. So medaber, u medaber.
Oh, so the bilabials are the mem, the bet.
Okay, 1 second. Back to Hebrew 1, the letters that are pronounced by both lips. The bet letter, or the vet, as it can be also the pay, or the fay. Then you continue, you have the vav letter itself, and 1 second, and the mem letter. So if I want to say water and water, it will be mayim, umayim. The vav gets pointed as a shurk.
Oh, okay, so that becomes cool. הוא מדבר, המורה מלמד.
Okay, notice you have the verb milamed, so it's not going to be hamorah.
Okay, so מלמד, okay, המורה.
That's it.
המורה, and then okay, המורה מלמד, מספר, הוא מספר.
That's right.
הוא מספר. Okay, so הוא מספר. Okay, מספר. Okay, so ספרים באנגלית.
That's it.
ואני מדבר ומספר סיפורים בעברית.
Okay, stop right there. You read well. I just want to review again the word va'ani. Again, the normal pointing of the vav is with a shvana. And so if you have a word ani which has a chata patach under it, the vav is going to have a shva cluster, the shva of the vav and the chata patach of the aleph, and the vav would take over the sound of the chata patach. So it's va'ani, as you read correctly.
No, because I know it by memory from shul. Vani,
Okay, well.
So not knowing the rules, just like memorization.
Oh, now you got the rules now too. Okay.
Okay, Vani מדבר ספר, ספרים.
No, not ume sefer, umisaper.
ספר, סיפורים בעברית.
Okay, next sentence.
Okay, המורה.
That's right.
המורה מלמד, אבל
No, not milamad, but milah.
מלמד.
That's better.
מלמד, אוהל.
Look carefully. Is that a chav? Aval. However, aval.
Does that mean but? Like as but? Or what was the value?
Aval means however,
Oh, okay.
or but.
אבל אני לא לומד.
Continue.
אני לא עושה.
Depends where your subject is. The subject is Moshe Mizrahi speaking. So ani lo oseh.
Oh, okay. עושה שיעורים ואני לא יודע אנגלית.
Very good. You read well. Take one more. Bamidbach.
Okay. במטבח. צבי עובד במרכבה.
No, read that word again. Tzvi oved.
Zvi.
Not zvi. Tzvi. It's a tzadi. Ba midbach.
Okay. Ba mitbach gam rina ovedet.
Ovedet.
Oh, okay.
Again, the feminine singular, the first single gets accented. Ovedet.
Ovedet the mitzvah.
No, she's working also in the kitchen. The word is midbach. Midbach.
Oh, bemidbach.
Okay, when you go home today, that kitchen of yours, midbach. Say it aloud. Midbach.
Midbach.
Okay.
Midbach. Hem ovedim betova.
Oh my goodness, it's the same word again.
Ovedim. Okay, wait. Bamidbach.
That's better.
Midbach. Bayachid.
Okay, the word is biyachad, together. Biyachad.
Beyachad.
Okay.
Hem mebeshalim or havet. Is that
Aruchot. The plural of the word arucha. Aruchot.
Aruchot rina melomed at.
No, Rina is not going to be milamed. Look at the spelling.
Oh, okay. Rina melomedet.
Again, milamedet. Hit that sego, the first one. Medet.
Medet. Melamedet.
Again, milamedet.
Melamedet.
All right.
Et CV lebeshal ochel Israel.
Yisraeli.
Israeli vetzvi.
All right, the pointing of the vav, the letter tzvi, is a shvana underneath the tzadi, so the vav is going to be pointed as a short. Utzvi, utzvi.
Utzvi melamed at Rina.
Okay, it's not ad, it's going to be et, Rina.
Oh, et. Okay. Et Rina lebashal ochel America se vi verina.
Wait a minute, America, do you see the chirik attached to the last letter aleph? America E.
Oh, America E.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, it is here. America. Okay. America E. Se vi verina chem zemad hamad. I don't recognize that.
All right, that phrase we saw in the vocabulary, and I mentioned whenever you see two people who are always together, they're tzemed chemed.
Match made in heaven?
Tzemed chemed means a lovely couple, a lovely pair. Tzemed chemed. It's a nice phrase. Okay. You read well. I mean, here and there are little corrections, but
Yeah. So I think that I have to review the rules of grammar. Understand that like object of proposition, like the stuff. Because she doesn't spell it out like you do. She just gives it
well,
she gives an in this section she gives an incomplete explanation.
no, her thing is more Israeli oriented, which means less of the grammar emphasis the way I do it.
Yeah. That's why I see the Israelis and Northern people, Hebrew and phonics, they look confused because they don't know the basic English grammar. And that's what makes it difficult.
Yeah, that's true too.
And I haven't had this. Wow, like the school, like well, really where since I took English was in '95,
Huh.
like around that time. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. In 30 years, so I was trying to like refresh the memory going back. So when
Oh,
you say
sure.
adjectives, pronouns, it's essential to to get it like
No, her English.
explain that to people to understand the structure.
I also, one minute, I think I agree with you if you're saying this as well. Her English, her English is a little above me or a little different than my English is. But I can tell what she's trying to say, obviously.
Yeah, no, you understood her. You understand her. You see what's missing. fill in the blank.
Yep.
We finished, or you want to continue some more?
I didn't hear what you said, but
Oh, okay. Do you want to call it a day for class? Want to finish the class, or are we finished with the class?
we're finished now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So like what?
Yeah, it's already 2:10 almost.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't paying attention.
No, I've got to take